What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. Today we're going to check out the Grudge. It had a buff in TU20. If you can check out the patch notes with me right now for a second, you can see here the CMMG Banshee and the Grudge got a 5% weapon damage buff and an extra 50 RPM. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. A like goes a really long way, so I really would appreciate it. And let's get straight into it. So as you can see, it hits fairly fast, 950 RPM. I've got 141k total damage on this build, but don't forget I put 12% expertise on it. That's enough expertise to take you up to needed exotic components, which I think is fairly achievable nowadays. Damage target out of cover on the bottom, and it comes with Perfect Vindictive. Killing an enemy with a status effect applied grants you and all allies within 20 meters 18% critical hit chance and 18% critical hit damage for 20 seconds. And the whole idea with this is we're going to do a bit of CCing, but we're also going to buff the team as well. But you know, let's not be no slump on damage ourselves. So we're not in a team right now, but what we'll do is we'll run it here on Lincoln Memorial. Now obviously we know heroic Lincoln Memorial's a breeze nowadays, but let's see how easy it actually is and see how much damage it actually puts out, how much we actually buff ourselves at the same time. So far feels great. Yeah, the Chunga. Was a Chunga. So far, so good. And you can see at the bottom, we've got all kinds of debuffs and buffs kicking in, allowing, you know, pretty much to give us a really easy time. And that's kind of the idea with this. Not only do you give yourself an easy time, you also give your teammates a buff and an easy time as well.
Take good shots. You're one down.
Got one behind me still. I know he's there. There he is. But distance is alright as well. That was a good test for distance. We're certainly putting out a lot of damage, and we are CCing along the way. There's multiple forms of CC in this build to help people out. And if you can make the game feel easy, then you know what it's all about, right? Obviously, you could run this gun, you know, without all the CC aspects as well. It's top tier now. But you could think about running a damage talent with it instead.
I got your division right here.
Doing somersaults in front of me. What's going on? Oh, we're going to get you from behind. Ah, hey. Too easy. Nice and blind. And as we saw there, the CC spreading. Things died that quick that the CC, like, is obviously going to pay bigger dividends when you're in a group than what it is solo. But the whole thing was really easy. Right, so let's go through the build. So first of all, you're going to want Gunner. You could go Firewall for more shield, you know, for damage, for more target enemy damage. But I chose Gunner because I really wanted the armor on kill. I just felt that that was important to at least having some survivability. The Grudge itself we went through before. It gives Perfect Vindictive. Killing an enemy with a status effect applies you and all allies the 18% crit chance and 18% critical hit damage bonus, which is really nice. Offhand, you know, I probably should have just slammed my Scorpio in here for my get out of jail free card, and the custom card I just run Sledgehammer for, you know, just for whenever you actually might need it. Hunter's Fury is pretty self-explanatory, but we'll go through it. We got SMG damage and shotgun damage, armor on kill and health on kill, and then Apex Predator. So you saw the debuff come up above all the enemies' heads. if they're within 15 meters, which plays really, really nicely to, you know, being within 20 meters for perfect vindictive as well. So we know if we've got the target above the enemy's head from Hunter's Fury, that we're definitely going to be getting perfect vindictive. So you can see here, we got weapon damage, crit damage, and then we get the buff from Apex Predator, and then we get an extra 5% damage for 10 seconds, and that'll stack up to 5 times for all enemies that we kill within 5 meters. And we try and keep that as close, up and close as personal as possible. Try and get near them doors, try and get as much kills in quickly as possible to get that damage bonus right up. It's really good. Then with the gloves, all the set bonuses are the same, but we're at weapon damage and critical hit damage. Then with the knees, we've got weapon damage and critical hit damage. And then with the holster, we've got weapon damage and critical hit damage. Hitting critical hit chance cap with this is so easy. You're literally going to be speccing into as much critical hit damage as you possibly can. And then we've got the chest piece. Now you can craft this one. You should have got the blueprint for it in the previous season. It gives us 15% headshot damage at the top. We got crit chance and crit damage and critical hit damage in the mod slot. The core attribute I've changed to weapon damage, but you could put that as a blue perhaps if you want a bit more survivability. And we've got perfect trauma. It applies blind to an enemy hit in the head with a cooldown of 20 seconds. And if we hit them in the body, we apply bleed. Now, the blind is a great CC tool along with your Hunter's Fury. And the reason I went with that is I spec'd it up here to go with Creeping Death. So when you apply a status effect, it also applies to all enemies within 8 meters of your target. So not only have you got the disorientate from Hunter's Fury, you're going to spread the bleed, and you're also going to spread the blind as well. And because of that, it all works super nice, because you're going to be getting kills and you're going to be proccing perfect vindictive for your team. And it all just goes together really nicely. Now, this is definitely a CC DPS build. It's not all out DPS. You know, it definitely isn't, because we're running the chest and backpack talent. This is just one that you feel like, you know, perhaps you're jumping into calls for help, or you're doing some lower level content, or maybe countdown, you know, and things like that. And you just think, you know what, I might encounter some newer players, and this build is going to give you that breathing room to help them out, to give them a bit of a buff because they've not perhaps got min-max builds, but it's also going to give them time to kill as well, because you're going to be doing CC effects at the same time. Is there other ways to do this? Absolutely, but I don't think the Cherished gets used enough, so I thought that we would run with that. Now, there is a named backpack that you could use. We'll scroll down. I should have it in. I don't have it. Have I got it? The courier that comes with perfect Creeping Death, but I really felt like I was kind of wasting the 2-piece bonus here, because I'm not going to be using a marksman rifle. So rather than it be 10 meters, I just went with the regular one for 8 meters, so that I could have that extra 10% SMG damage as well. Because if it is all about helping teams out that are not necessarily as min-maxed as you are, that, you know, that little 2 meters difference, the extra damage from you is going to make all of the difference. You shield here, but feel free to not run the shield and perhaps run the Banshee Pulse as well. Again, more CCing. And the Reviver Hive, just because, you know, extra lives and all that are worth loads. When we flick into the stat page, you can see we're at 48% crit chance, but we know when Vindictive kicks in, we're going to be over cap at 60. And then we can't actually lower the crit chance, you know, that much anywhere else. It's just not viable. And then with the critical hit damage, we're actually going to be at 181% critical hit damage when Vindictive kicked in. Just to show you here as well, we've got crit damage on the mod. We've got crit damage on the mod there. We've got crit chance here because we can't have crit damage. And we've got 20 rounds in the mag with the really cool brand new Bang universal weapon skin. I think it's really cool. It's dead nice. But yeah, that's going to be it for the build. A bit of a different one for this one today. Let me know what you think. Have you got any ideas for CC type DPS builds? Let me know in the comments. If we can get to 300 likes on the video, that would be amazing. It really would help the channel out. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, agents. Goodbye.